On today's episode, we'll talk about that Empire article. Does Darth Maul miss the Jedi? And is Yoda just a cover up guy? We'll see. That and much on today's episode. So if you guys are ready, I'm not ready. Let's talk Star Wars. Start the transmission.
Rebellions are built on hope.
And welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Alberto and thank you for joining us on this special Star Wars Sunday. Didn't do an episode yesterday. We got a couple of things going on. Our co-host Oti was busy. He'll be in a couple of minutes so we can jump into all the fun Star Wars stories that we haven't covered in the past couple of weeks. So we'll get into those in a couple of minutes. But thank you for being here. Happy International Women's Day to everyone out there. Some great woman characters, actresses, writers, directors, scores, music, composers, I should say, in the Star Wars universe. And to the real people out there, so congratulations and happy International Women's Day today. All right, thank you for being here. It's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks since we've jumped into the Star Wars universe to talk about everything that's been going on. There's been a couple of interviews, I would say. Sam Witwer has been talking. There's been Lesley Headland interviews. And of course, the big Empire article that just dropped. It's been kind of dropping different tidbits this past week. The full magazine comes out later in March. I'm sure there'll be some extra stuff in there, but I thought I've missed talking about Star Wars, even though there isn't that a lot of like news and big stuff to talk about. I miss talking Star Wars. I wanted to do something today. So as always, thank you for everyone that's joining us either live here or later watching the replay or listening to the audio podcast. Thank you as always. And our friend is here, Oti, our co-host. He's in. Oti, how you been doing? It's been a couple of weeks. I was just telling the people out there, not a bunch of actual Star Wars news out there, but I felt that itch to talk Star Wars. So, hey, let's do it. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm excited to be here, I guess. And not really sure what happened in the Star Wars world. You sent me a couple things that we were going to talk about, and I was like, okay, sure.
Sure.
So,
okay,
I'm doing fine. My first daylight savings, my second daylight saving switch. But here I am.
Yeah, I forgot you're on this side. When we were planning doing, I almost texted you back like, oh, remember time change, but then I forgot we're on the same one for one of the first times. But I wanted to ask you, and I think you might have been in Puerto Rico, but were you in Boston with a big snowstorm just hit a couple of weeks ago?
Oh, we haven't talked since. No, I was in Puerto Rico.
All right.
I was supposed to get here Monday, I think, and I was at a wedding, and literally as we were sitting down in the reception, I got the message from JetBlue like, hey, your flight has been canceled. So I was there for like 3 more days.
Oh wow.
Had an 8-hour layover. Quickly, I had an 8-hour layover in North Carolina. There's nothing to do in the Raleigh airport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been to that airport a couple of times just to change flights going somewhere else. Yeah, it's not a lot. It's fine for 45 minutes to an hour, get something to eat, and then get on your flight. But yeah, there's not a lot of stuff to do there.
It's a very pretty airport. There's nothing to do. The bathrooms are super nice, super clean. Nothing to do there.
Yeah. Well, you can admire the bathrooms before it becomes weird. So yeah, my brother was sending me pictures from his backyard in Boston. Like every couple of hours, just the inches of snow growing and growing. Yeah. Like, oh man, I don't miss it. No, it's gonna be 90 degrees here tomorrow, but
it was funny because my in-laws were actually here in Massachusetts because they were visiting, and we were like, hey, come in like a couple of days earlier so you can take care of Marley, our dog. And they were like, okay, sure. And we're like, it's only 3 days into a whole week of snowstorm and everything.
Yeah. Hopefully you had enough food there for them so they didn't have to go out and battle the snow.
I mean, one of the good things about Massachusetts is like people are used to this. Like in the middle of the storm, you'll look through the window and people are driving. And you're like, sure, okay. So it's just like a couple hours disruption. But I mean, some people got it really bad, but at least where I live, it was fine. And yeah. Oh, and today it's like almost 60 degrees, so the snow is melting, which is pretty disgusting, I might say.
It's something that for people that haven't been in the snow, once it starts to melt, a couple of days afterwards, it looks pretty nasty. Once it's there, you see all melting and all the snow being shoveled to the side. It's pretty.
I wanted it to melt because it was already like black and brown snow.
Yeah.
But like seeing it melt is gross.
All right. I had a kind of a final destination moment on Friday. Not that I almost died, but like fate said, like, no, you're not getting out of this. You're destined to fall on your face, on your ass. So Friday, I'm at work. One of our coworkers has chicken, so she brings eggs every once in a while. So this big basket of eggs just there for people to pick what they wanted. So I'm kneeling in front of the basket, trying to see what I'm gonna get. Dude, I start leaning forward, about to either fall face first into the basket of eggs and just break everything, or straight into the wall and probably put a dent on it. I saved myself. I stopped myself. Nothing happened. All my coworkers saw it was fine. I'm here at home Friday evening, like 6:30 in the afternoon. I'm supposed to take my daughter somewhere. Like, let me do something real quick. So I'm already pushing fate. Let me do something before I take you. So I do what I'm supposed to do. We got a fence. It's about 3 foot high. It's like a metal fence, different sections of it, just to keep our dogs away from certain parts of the yard. So we're talking to our daughter. She's like, oh, I can't believe her brother jumps this fence, does all this. And we're like, oh, you can jump it. You're athletic. And she's like, no, I'm going to fall down. It's like a 3 foot fence, so it's not that big. I like, it's a skip and a hop. It's pretty easy. So then I'm walking back and I say, look, I'm going to do it. I'll show you how easy it is. So I take like 5 steps because I think I'm going to do it. You know where this is going. I jump. I scream, a skip and a hop or whatever. In my mind, I'm already crossed it. I'm fine. Dude, my back foot, I guess the heel caught on it. And instead of just kind of tripping forward, it stopped my momentum full blast. I take the whole fence with me, fall down. I know you can see a little bit there. And it's different panels. The side ones fall on my head. So I'm there on the floor, just with the freaking fence on my face. My daughter laughing at me because I'm telling her to do it. My wife, who saw it, says that I was jumping in slow motion. They looked like I just jumped up instead of forward because I visualized myself just hurdling this thing. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess fate did want me to fall on Friday. So, not the best.
Wow. And that's why you don't jump over fences.
No,
and
that's
your daughter learned a valuable lesson.
Yeah, she is scarred now and she sees a fence.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for being here. Like this video, comment down below, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss whenever we go live. And cool stories like this, we can laugh about our failures. All right, Oti, let me say.
Before we start, I'm just going to say something very quick. The reason why I was late is because I haven't had lunch and I was making mac and cheese. I hate when people eat in podcasts. So if you see me go out, like turn off my camera, I'm eating. So I haven't had lunch, so I'm hungry.
Oh, man. I won't say anything else. After I'm done here, I'm going to go eat my dinner. I already have lunch, but I bought some. There's a new store here because we have a Publix. Everyone has Publix. That's Florida. You have a Publix. It just opened earlier last year. So, but it opened next to the like local supermarket that we had. That one, okay, sorry, we're done. Publix here, we're leaving. And now a new one called Bravo came in. It's basically a Latin supermarket.
Bravo is good.
So we went today. It's our second time there. So I got arroz con gandules, lechon. So as soon as I'm here, I'm going to go eat. My wife made tostones. Nice. So I'm ready to go. But
nice. My in-laws had Bravos, I think, near Tampa, and yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So, all right, friend Brennan is here. Page Turners, they were not. Hello there, gentlemen. I am really excited for Shadow Lord and the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. I cannot wait. Right there with you, Brennan. We'll talk about both. Shadow Lord is one. I'll love it. I'm sure I'm gonna love it. I'm like, okay, whatever. So expectation low. So I think I'm going to enjoy it when it actually comes out. All right, Oti. So let's start real quick. Our first news item is this Empire article, and there he goes. He goes straight to eating, doesn't wait. So I don't know if you got a chance to look into it, Oti. I know you weren't kind of too much into the news this week, but every day, kind of, I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Empire released a couple of news articles for the Mandalorian and Grogu. The big article, the full article comes out later this month for their May issue. And the first one is basically Filoni, for the most part, talking about the movie, what it means for the characters. There's a completely different era. It's not a prequel. It's not a sequel. It's not setting anything up. It's a big celebration of the main characters, of the title characters, which I love hearing that. I know a lot of fans are probably going to hate it because it's Star Wars and we need this big adventure that pushes the story forward. But yeah, this is kind of the culmination of these two characters that we've grown to know and love for the past, 6 years now. And that's what I want. We've talked about it. Just give me a fun adventure. And if it's a fun adventure focused on Mando and Grogu, I'm happy with that. So
there's so much I'm thinking about. Like, I agree with you. Like, Mando and Grogu have turned into the face of Star Wars, specifically since the sequel trilogy ended. Well, I mean, Mandalorian started a couple of weeks before Rise of Skywalker, so yeah. It's also weird for me that we're celebrating them already. Like, yeah, they're the face of Star Wars, and it's been 6 years, but it's been 6 years. Like, we can hold off on the celebrations for a little bit, but whatever. Like, that's really all I need this movie to be. Like, sure, whatever happened. Like, did they turn season 4 into this? Did they do another? I don't care. Like, I just want to be there and have fun with these characters, and we came to love them for their adventures and for who they turned out to be as characters and everything we live with them. And if this movie is just like another adventure with them, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's fun. I know Filoni co-wrote the movie or wrote the movie. I didn't know he's the second unit director, so I can get him more, even though he's directed episodes of The Mandalorian. Second unit director for this movie, just ready before he goes into full on directing his own movie. So
I mean, that makes sense. Like, if they're shooting something somewhere and Favreau is elsewhere, it makes sense for Filoni to be the second unit director. So I did not know that. That's actually pretty interesting.
Pedro Pascal talked a little bit about where Mando is at this point, because at the end of season 3, although he's kind of retired, he did say, hey, I'll work with the New Republic. If you need anything, just let me know. I'll work with you guys, kind of hunting bad guys. And we learn here that he's still a bounty hunter, but just a bounty hunter for the good guys, which is not something that you hear often, but it makes sense that this is his background. And now he's just, what he says in the trailers, give me warlords or Imperial remnants, bad guys. I'm going to hunt them down. So he's still a badass bounty hunter, just for the cool guys. I mean, the good guys.
Yeah. I'm feeling that this movie is literally going to be season 1, 2, and 3 somehow crammed into like a 90-minute, 120-minute thing, because like it's a lot of it feels like everything we know. Like, they're going on adventures. He's a bounty hunter again. He has a Razor Crest again. They're running from the Empire or something. I don't know. Or running towards the Empire.
Yeah, we just need that pole rifle back.
I hope we get it.
I mean, if they can get another Razor Crest, they can find a pulse rifle somewhere. Probably Seb has one laying around. He can toss around. So another thing from this article, and when we saw the trailer, we saw Pedro Pascal without the helmet, or I should say the Mandalorian without the helmet, on 2 different scenes. And people were, we're going to get it. Here we go, finally. It's probably just those 2 scenes that he's there. He won't be in the armor. It will be the stunt guys. But didn't we go? Season 3 was this, repenting for taking his armor. Now we're going to have to rethread the same thing. And I'm glad that they talked about this in the interview. John Favreau says it's a tricky thing because you want to see his face, of course, but the archetype is that of the helmet. How do we find a way to do it without undermining everything that we develop about the Mandalorian creed?
Yep.
And then Pedro Pascal adds, when we got to that part, all I can in the script, when we got to that part, all I can say is that it made perfect sense. And it was what I was hoping would be the reason. If I were to pitch something, I would say the only thing that makes sense is blank. And that's exactly it. He filled that blank. I said immediately, John, that's exactly what I was hoping to hear. So for all these people that say Pedro Pascal hates the Mandalorian, he hates the character, we're never going to see him again. And I'll go into a little further in a minute. It's how much that there's a reason for him to remove the helmet that makes sense, that Pedro kind of agreed with, and how much we'll see of him actually with the helmet on in terms of Pedro Pascal being the Mandalorian. While he still shares the role with fellow performers Latif Crowder and Brendan Wayne, much of the film has Pascal under the Beskar. You'll see Pedro in the armor, both with and without the helmet, confirms Favreau. He's a pretty physical performer, so we push a little further than we have in the past as far as what he's doing.
Interesting.
So he'll be there for, I'm not going to say most of the movie, but he'll be there for a lot of it. So it's him there, which is what a lot of people kind of were, he doesn't care about Mando anymore. That's why the helmet came back in season 3, and maybe that's part of it. But no, he's there physically. Finally, stop complaining about Pedro not caring about this role.
I'm very interested with that helmet conversation because, like, I didn't really think much of it. I was just like, oh, okay, he got captured and got it removed, and yada yada yada. But I mean, it seems like they're kind of building it up to be like a thing that happens in the movie, and it makes me think of like the last. I don't remember now if it's the last 2 times, but in season 2 when he takes it off in the Believer and then in the finale, it was both like crucial moments and important moments in the show and for the characters. So it will be interesting to see like if they do something else with that.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't have on my notes, but part of that first conversation with Filoni, I think it was with Filoni, maybe Favreau, how much Din Djarin has grown in terms of caring for Grogu. That he's still a bounty hunter. Now he's a bounty hunter for the good guys because he's grown. I don't say grown attached to Grogu, but it's that relationship there. Like he's the good guy. He's grown past. I'm just gonna collect bounties and that's it. It's that love that's there and that's pushing the characters forward. So maybe that's why he needs to remove his helmet a few times. But someone that we haven't seen, I'll let you in a minute. Oti, we haven't seen, just like Pedro Pascal or Din Djarin didn't remove his helmet in a while. Someone we haven't seen in the show in a while is our friend Dale is here. Dale Skywalker. Hello there, General Dale. Thanks for joining us today. Sorry, Oti, were you going to say something?
No, I was just going to agree with you. Like, I think the reason for taking off his helmet has to be Grogu related. So we'll see.
And then kind of finishing up the Empire articles that were out last week, Jeremy Allen White, which was a huge, I still can't believe it, that he's in Star Wars, which is great. He's playing Rotta the Hutt, which I've never been a fan of the character as Stinky. We saw him in the trailer. We've seen a couple backside shots. We got that full on, I don't know if, I'm guessing you saw that full new image of him with his battle axes just looking all ripped. He's a gladiator fighting in the pits, which we kind of assume, but we got some confirmation of it.
I have a question. Wasn't there some controversy with the picture?
Oh, well, it's the internet. So there was a picture that came out around the same time that the article started going out. But the picture, there were 2 images. And I tweeted out or posted that they looked weird because I thought they were kind of pre-production stills, kind of, hey, this is what the character might look like, because on the first image he's facing forward holding those weapons, and then the second image he's facing to the side, but the second half of his body, like the tail, is the same on both images, so it doesn't move, which is kind of weird. But the 2 weapons that he's holding on those initial shots change kind of design and form, and which hand is holding which in both images. So the Hutt itself, if it was Rotta, looked great, but there was something off about those weapons he was holding. The design wasn't really kind of matching the different images. Everything now, people will question if it's AI or not, and you will really never know. So it was I don't want to say controversy. People just didn't know if they were official images or not.
Because like I think someone tweeted out that they were fake.
So
and...
Hal Hickel from ILM tweeted out, "Hey, there's some images out there. They're not from the movie, so kind of squash that. Like, these aren't real." And then the official image came out, which is the thumbnail of this video of him in the gladiator pits with the 2 battle axes, looking ripped as hell. Rotta's back. We kind of talked about.
No, I was just confused with the controversy because I saw the whole "it's AI" and then I saw like, wait, but it has the Empire seal. Like, what's going on? I was so confused.
Yeah, they're very similar. I think someone might have seen the original, and I mean, they don't look AI. Like, it looks like an actual image that you would see. I still think that maybe it was kind of from those art of books when they throw in different things there, trying to see what sticks. They were cool images, I'll say, and they're pretty close to what we actually got.
Okay.
Jeremy Allen White confirmed that he will speak some Huttese as Rotta, but will also switch to basic, which is something we discussed here when we talked about the trailer. If he will mostly speak basic or Huttese, we'll get a combination of both. And then Favreau said that Hotta is basically a Nepo baby, and that's trying to get away from the shadow of being Jabba's son. And that's, I guess, why he's in the gladiator pits and all that. So a little bit of background on where Rotta is. I know when the movie was announced and people kind of rumors were starting to fly out, it seemed like the same plot as a Clone Wars movie, that Mando had to go and rescue Rotta. Doesn't seem like that's part of it. But
I'm seeing the fake picture. Okay. Interesting.
All right. Yeah, so Dale is saying that one's kind of AI, the other is not, but that they look pretty similar, which there. And swole Hutt, as Brennan is saying, he's very swole there. So one thing I've been thinking about, now that we've seen the trailers, we got a little bit of background of where Rotta is at this point. What do you think that Hutt Twins play into everything here? I don't think that they're... And Oti just left. Hopefully he'll be back soon. I don't think they're part of, like, I think they want to take Rotta out. Maybe he's the heir to Jabba's. Let me get him back. All right, welcome back. That was a big bite of mac and cheese. I took you out completely.
I literally don't know what happened. Okay. The twins, I have no idea how they factor in. Maybe they're looking for their... Or is he like Air Gladiator?
So what I thought, because the twins, if I'm not mistaken, they went to Boba Fett, basically trying to say, hey, Jabba's empire is ours or something. Mm-hmm. And then that's why they tried to kill Boba and all that Chrysanthemum and then the Rancor stuff. Maybe they want to hire Mando to take out Rotta because he's Jabba's heir. Ooh. If we can take Rotta out, they can kind of officially take over the Hutt Empire. That's what I'm thinking. Because I don't know. It doesn't. What would they care about?
Or maybe Rotta gets Mando to kill his uncle.
Yeah. So no, there's still a lot about this movie. I'm not sure where it's going to go, but it's interesting.
I by the way, ever since our last episode, I was thinking, like, what if this movie does the Return of the Jedi thing, where the first 20 minutes of the movie is just like this random story that's going on, and then the rest, like hour 30, it's just like the actual movie. Like, what if they, because like Favreau being a huge Star Wars fan, I wouldn't be shocked if he did something like that, but
it wouldn't surprise me. I still think that the whole Rotta twins thing, it's the beginning of the movie, and the main part is going to be the Empire stuff. How does it all mesh together? I'm not sure. It's funny, if you watch the newest trailer, you see that he goes to talk to the Hutt Twins. He goes there. It seems like he goes by his own volition. He's not being forced there.
But so wait, there's another trailer after the...
No, the original trailers or whatever. he goes there, and then that's when we see that the droid takes the mask off. But he goes there by himself. But if we go back to that teaser that they showed in Celebration, when Mando's there, he's shooting at those two big droids that are right outside. So he goes there twice, and the second time, I'm guessing he goes there pits, and that's why he's shooting at those droids. So I don't know what's going on.
What if it's the same time and it's just like
I don't know. If you
stuff goes down,
maybe he goes kicked out anyway. And I think
or they do the Return of the Jedi thing, and he's like Leia, and he spends like a day there.
Yeah, maybe just hanging out there, just send him to sleep upstairs, and then Grogu kind of goes missing. I think. Do you think Embo? I'm starting to think that maybe the Empire sends Embo to kidnap Grogu because they still need him for something, and then that gets kind of that part moving.
Yeah.
I don't think that Embo is sent by the Hutt Twins. I think Embo is part of the Empire plot.
That'd be cool if we get bounty hunters working for the Empire again.
Mm-hmm. So the next weekend or next Sunday, I believe, is the Oscars, the biggest night for Hollywood, and it's an ABC.
No,
are we getting something? I'm not saying a new trailer.
I don't think so.
I think we'll get at least a TV spot, or Grogu shows up to make a little skit during the
okay, maybe something like that. I don't think we're getting like a new trailer. No one wants
no, probably a clip from that trailer that they already showed. But it's like a cool place again. Get this promo machine going.
What if they do like a Tide Pods parody ad with
oh man, I guess I think we'll see Grogu in the
it'd be cool
in the theater. They're doing something. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds more like a next year thing, and it doesn't make sense because next year the movie will already be out. But like, it'll probably get nominated for some technical thing, and you get Grogu walking out for a second.
We'll see next week. All right, so that was basically it for the Empire article. We also got Sam Witwer. I can't remember where he was. He was in another podcast or something, I'm not sure. And he's talking about Maul and Shadow Lord, where we find Maul when the show starts. And he says he's confused, a little apprehensive. We pick up after the Clone Wars. The Empire has taken over, and Maul's reassessing everything. He's looking around at the Empire, the thing he and his master had been working towards since he was an apprentice, and thinking, is this what Palpatine had in mind? How do I feel about this? We're getting this different type of Maul out there that's not the killing machine we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to build his empire. He's not good at delegating, trying to again be this crime boss. He's learning to use words, manipulation, and persuasion. He's realizing there's responsibility behind every action. There's a new territory for Maul. So I think this show, even though I said wasn't the most excited, I'm still not that excited to the show because I know my excitement level is pretty even keel. So I think I'll be surprised by the end of it. But right now, it's cool to see where Maul's kind of headspace is at the moment. Like, oh crap, I thought we were going to rule just the two of us. Oh no, he has some other plans where it wasn't involved. So are you still looking forward to the show?
Yeah, like I don't remember when it's coming out. I think it was April.
Yeah, I know the finale is May 4th is what I remembered.
But
we get 2 episodes every week.
I'm still excited I'm always excited to get new Star Wars.
So the big thing was kind of Maul's current view of the Jedi. Like, he was trained to hate the Jedi. He wants to destroy the Jedi. And Witwer goes on to say, now he's looking at the galaxy going, boy, we could surely use a Jedi Knight or two. At least with the Jedi, you knew where they stood. There's something to respect there. This empire, he sees no value there. Just a naked grab for influence, power, and money. Principles are gone, and he looks out at that with a certain level of distaste. He may not have agreed with the Jedi Knights, but at least they had principle. You knew who you were dealing with, and you could reason with that. There's no reasoning with the Empire.
Wow. Very introspective, Maul.
Yeah, Maul kind of changed. I'm trying to see, and even though I love Rebels, I can't remember all the Maul episodes. It's how they're going to match this Maul to the Maul we saw in Rebels, which is still like 18 years away. He still
Yeah,
hates Kenobi, but
that's what.
he's like, man, I want the Jedi back.
I mean, I don't think that's something that will be done. Because, like you said, there's an 18-year gap here, so
Yeah.
Anything can happen in 18 years. So, no, but I don't think we'll see him be like, I miss the Jedi.
Yeah.
And I can see him maybe miss the Jedi, and that switch immediately flipping when he realizes that Kenobi is alive.
Yeah. I mean, we know that he's trying. I guess I don't want to say we know, but there's this Twilight Jedi on the loose. I think there's some other character that's also a Jedi that he's trying to. I don't know if he's trying to recruit, trying to same thing that he tried with Ahsoka, trying to find someone to help bring the Empire down. We know that he wanted to train Ezra, I guessing for a similar reason, but I want to see how involved kind of the Empire still is in terms of him going after Palpatine, trying to bring the whole thing down, or is he just gonna be focused on building this new kind of crime organization? Because again, even though I just talked about Rebels, we still got Solo kind of halfway between that,
Yeah, that's
when
true.
he's taken over Crimson Dawn. So it'll be cool to see how we get from this new Maul to at least that Solo Maul 5 years down the line if we get a couple seasons into it. But
yeah,
it was interesting to see that Maul is oh man, I hated the Jedi, I still do, but you can reason with what they were doing compared to what we're doing. Now the Empire just it's not a force thing, it's just power and corruption. You see me what's going on, but
yeah. It's kind of like me missing the Republicans who thought that we needed to take money from poor people to give them to rich people to give it to poor people. Like, at least I believed in something,
mm-hmm. Oh, trickle down, dude. Just give them, they'll help. If you give them a little, they'll help
30
you down the line.
40 years later, and people still think that works.
Hey, just give it time. There's always hope, Oti. So yeah, again, same thing. It's cool to get more out there for Maul. It's coming out in about a month or so, so we're starting to get a bit more information. I know they don't do for TV shows. Usually, a couple of weeks before is when we start seeing more promotion for it. But
yeah, I wouldn't bet on seeing a huge marketing blitz for this show.
Yeah. All right, and then finally, Lesley Headland was in the George Lucas show, I think it was called. She's been doing an interview, and we know the Art of Acolyte just came out a couple of weeks ago, so there's a lot of information that came out, and they brought back the whole Ki-Adi-Mundi age thing of him being around. She mentioned that she talked to I just forgot his name. I'll say Pedro, not to Pablo Hidalgo, to make sure. And he said, yeah, the only thing is this trading card or whatever. So he's an alien. If you want him to be 100, he can be 100. Do whatever you need to. And that's why that thing happened.
Ruined the card game.
Yeah, and that's where it got canceled right there. After that episode, we're done. I didn't know people care so much about freaking Conehead guy, but it's a big day for fandom back then. Don't you miss it?
I'll never forget Alex and Molly in Star Wars Explained. They started an episode being like, "Oh, good news! Ki-Adi-Mundi has a new birthday! Yay!" But everyone's mad about it. Boo.
Oh man! I'll say now that you bring that, a quick segue. They interviewed Chris Hemshaw. I forget.
The historian.
Yeah,
it was a great interview.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but he revealed that he has a new Star Wars book coming out.
On
Star Wars pilot, with Wedge being kind of that point of view guy, but talking about all the other pilots involved in the Galactic Civil War, coming out October, I think, so not that far off. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, so Lesley Headland was talking about Yoda, our favorite green guy out there, and how if there had been a season 2 of The Acolyte, that Yoda would 100% have helped Vernestra with the cover-up, which I'm guessing is the cover-up, instead of saying that Chimera, her fallen Jedi apprentice, killed all the Jedi Masters. No, Saul did it. he's dead. The brand dog thing, we'll pin it on Saul and kind of wash our hands of it. That Yoda would have been okay with it and kind of help with the cover up. And similar to the Kia di Mundi, we have a split in the fandom for a couple of hours. It wasn't that long about people saying, here we go, she doesn't know anything about Star Wars. And the other half, well, I mean, that's Yoda. Have you seen the last 20 years?
The fandom is split over a story beat that never happened.
Never happened. But that's what we do.
Okay.
So I'm like, I mean, we saw Yoda at the end of the episode in the finale. We kind of thought, oh, we know where this is going. Because if you've read the High Republic, unfortunately, Yoda already covered something 200 years earlier with the Battle of Jeddah. Not the Battle of Jeddah. Whatever, in Phase 2. And he kind of, let's not say that there's something affecting Jedi out there. It's going to cause too much panic. Let's keep it quiet.
You're going to be scared.
Yeah, jump 300 years or whatever. And he lied to Luke about Darth Vader being Anakin. And people say that he gave a little glance to Mace Windu and the Sith are back. We haven't heard about Sith in 1,000 years. And he's like, I don't know about that.
Yo, if you knew what happened in Brandok.
If you knew all the Jedi that turned to dust, I won't say anything. Plus the Brandok thing. Where do you fall? Do you care? Like you said, this never happened. It's all about context. We don't know how it will have played out in the show. I don't kind of like, it makes sense the way they've kind of done recently with some of the decisions. But the other side is like, man, Yoda is still, for a lot of people, Yoda's the wisest Jedi out there. But if you go into the weeds, maybe not. I kind of feel bad. Not feel bad. I don't know how I feel 100% with always blaming the Jedi for everything. Even though it has happened.
This is a more interesting conversation that, what do you think about the story beat that never happened? I think you make a good point. Like, the image of Yoda is kind of sacred. And that's why, like, Grogu was like this big thing. Like, we're going there. So I don't know what I would prefer, because, like, the movies do keep Yoda as the wise, like, and I don't think it's wrong to say, like, Yoda, I think, is a person you would like to strive to be like. Yoda's a pretty zen and good guy. Does he make mistakes? Of course, and they're also in the movie. Like in the prequels, you have him be like, "Oh, Anakin, rejoice the people we lose," and it's like, what? Do not miss your mom. Like, forget about her. So I don't know. I do kind of like that the bigger things that shatter that image are in books and comics and things that not everyone is exposed to. But I don't know. I think it's interesting, like, this whole thing with Yoda, like, and I don't know where I fall specifically.
It's one, and I talked about it here before. There's a lot of not a lot, but probably 2 or 3 recent books or maybe TV episodes that put a lot on the Jedi not being the most, I don't want to say perfect, because I think the Jedi are not perfect, and a lot of people want them to be perfect. And that's when a lot of the criticism comes from. Even though we love Anakin and all the imperfect Jedi out there, if the Jedi make a mistake, this is where the institution needs to fall. Look at all the mistakes they've done. But that's part of being a character. No one's going to be perfect.
It's interesting because George does make this point, like, he does put them in armor for a reason, and he's trying to say something with the prequels and with the Clone Wars and explain, like, how they fall from grace. But it's all in supplement of the trilogy where the Jedi come back. So I think George maybe has a very similar opinion to you. Like, yes, it's a super flawed institution that made a ton of mistakes, and I feel like it's interesting to have storytelling with that and not have them be like these perfect knights. And even in the High Republic, where we see them at their best, there's still mistakes. It's a big institution with thousands of people. Like, of course it's gonna happen. But I don't know. I do get what you say. Like, I hate it when people get like, they're the worst. But at the same time, like, I can ignore that and enjoy my stories.
But the ones that do it great or do it best, like, for example, we didn't talk about Mike Chen. We just had the when his book came out recently, in Brotherhood, there's a big part of, hey, the emergency powers, we gotta create the army and we need the Jedi to be part of it. And you start seeing how they start getting involved in the war. And there's a different books that also show that. And I think that's a great way to say, okay, here's where the Jedi as an institution started to go down the wrong path, because now they're involved in politics and it was actually happening with the war. And that's very interesting. It's more when there's stories that seem to know everything that happened is the Jedi fault. If they only were a little less rigid, none of this would have happened. And I had an issue with it in the Delilah Dawson's Inquisitor book. But of course, that book is from an Inquisitor point of view. So of course, they're going to blame the Jedi. And once I got my head around that, okay, makes sense. But when this Yoda news came out, like, yeah, of course he would have kind of been involved in it. It's like, do we need to keep kind of pushing that? But again, it's Yoda, and he's the greatest one out there. We still make mistakes. Unfortunately for him, we're very big mistakes. It's very little ones.
Unfortunately for Yoda and the Jedi, it does make sense for them to bury it. And let's not talk about this ever again. I can see it both ways. I was gonna say there is a Star Wars movie that really deals with the Jedi and their flaws, and one character wants them to come back and the other one wants them to win, and at the end we get to a consensus of what the Jedi are or should be.
We don't talk about that movie. What? I don't know what you're talking about. That movie doesn't exist.
Attack of the Clones.
Oh man. But yeah,
The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie.
We gotta do, now that we're almost at 10 years, right? Next year will be 10 years from Last Jedi. Man, the 50th anniversary for Star Wars has a lot of stuff going on. We should do a deep dive into Last Jedi. Because I haven't seen it probably in 3 years. And I had my big issues when I watched it recently.
What's wrong with you? Why haven't you watched it?
Dude, I haven't watched it.
The Empire's going to win if you don't watch it.
I know. That's what I'm wearing my Vader shirt, so you know where I'm leaning today.
Man. I think I'm like more disconnected from Star Wars than you are, and I watched them the other day. Great movie.
The last Star Wars movie I watched was The Phantom Menace, because we talked about it here because it was its 20-year anniversary or whatever it was. And before that, I think it was Solo. Now I watched Rogue One after Andor, and I have watched Solo like 3 or 4 months before. But I haven't watched anything from the sequel trilogy in, I would say, like 2 or 3 years. I saw Force Awakens actually last year.
Oh, we talked about it a couple of months ago.
Right, so I'm lying. I've seen a couple of Star Wars movies. I'm sorry.
I watch all the Star Wars movies at least once a year.
I have to. There's so much stuff out there. But yeah,
it's Star Wars, man. What the hell?
I know. I gotta make time for the best thing out there. But no, I think even though it's far away, maybe before that, I'll rewatch The Last Jedi and we'll have a cool discussion. We'll invite a couple people. And
by the way, your commitment is to watch Last Jedi almost 2 years from now. Because that's why December. It's the other December.
Well, I'll see it. I'll watch it this year before it's summer. I'll watch at some point. I will have a Last Jedi chat.
Dude, that's gonna be cool because we have the re-release of New Hope.
Yeah.
Then in May we have Starfighter, and then in December it's the 10th anniversary. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Plus celebration somewhere in all that.
Oh right, celebration is in April. Oh
yeah. Yeah, 2027. It's packed. Wow.
The joy of Star Wars is back.
All right. I think that's a good way to finish our chat today. So, not a lot of actual news out there, but just some stuff to get the blood flowing with Star Wars. Some midichlorians in the blood this week to talk about Star Wars. So.
Yep. So
right, Oti, hopefully
we'll be back at some point, I guess.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Good news is, in April we get new Star Wars, and that takes us all the way into the movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, after April, I don't know that first Saturday on April if I can do a show, but we'll see. Maybe after that, we'll figure something out.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Thank you to Brennan. Thank you to Dale. Anyone else out there, thank you for joining us. We'll be back at some point soon talking Star Wars, talking other stuff. What was I say? Did you watch... What show was it? Oh, House of the Seven Kingdoms? Not House. Night of the Seven
No,
Kingdoms?
no, I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna watch it, but I still haven't watched it.
Dude, go watch it. It's great.
I heard it's great.
Yeah. All right. See you, Oti. Enjoy your lunch if you still have more to eat. Now go. There you go. Clean plate. Clean plate. See you next time on Radio Rebellion.